Tag along with Amy and Jamie while we meet the authors. Right here on Amazon Live. Ask questions to win a prize from your favorite author's life. So come on, just tag along with Amy and Jamie while we meet the authors. Right here on Amazon Live. Ask questions to win a prize from your favorite author's life.
Oh
my gosh. If you could see us in the background, we're like dancing to that song. Hello, welcome, welcome. We are excited to have you today. We've got a lot of great books. We've got a lot of good deals. And we are going to bring on Josevie Jackson. She is an incredible lady. She tours all over the world. She's an international speaker. She's an international author. I think she's even got something coming up where she's speaking to 400,000 people in India. So we'll talk to her about that. But let's bring her on. She is the author of, let me pull this up real quick, the banner, author of the Small Business Survival Guide. Welcome, 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 Josevie. We are so glad to see you here. We are live on several platforms. The main platform that we want you to take a look at is Amazon Live. So if you're not on the Amazon Live platform, that's where you're going to go. Wow, awesome. Sandra says, hi, beautiful people. Wow, you get a song for the show too. Welcome, Sandra. And you're going to get entered into the prize wheel to win Josevie Jackson's book today. The Small Survival Guide by Josevie. Josevie, it's so good to see you.
It's good to be seen and to be a part of all of the fun that you guys are having all the time. I see you on your other shows. I'm on there buying things all the time. So I'm excited and honored that you would choose me to be on your first show. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome. I'm super excited that you're here. So what made you, why did you write this book? What made you end up writing this book?
You know, that's a great question, Amy. I never even thought I would even write a book like this. I've been in business for, if I tell you how many years, I'm going to give away my age, but I've been a serial entrepreneur since I was 20 years old. And it's been over 30 years that I've done business after business after business after business. I own several businesses now. And so I've experienced what it feels like to fail in business, as well as what it feels like to succeed in business. So I know the feelings. I know that being an entrepreneur with a small business, it's like having your own baby. You know, you watch that business grow, and then when something happens and your business starts to take a dive, you just get anxious, people get upset, they get nervous. You know, it's like if something happens to your kid, you just want the best outcome. And so this last year, in 2020, during coronavirus, I was actually speaking with another colleague who she helps small businesses build their business credit. And she was saying that her business was going super slow because a lot of her clients were actually going out of business because of COVID. And I was
probably afraid to borrow money too.
Well, a lot of them couldn't borrow money because that's why they were using her. They hadn't built their business credit. They didn't know how to do it, all that. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'll give them a free coaching call, have them come to me. And she said, it's too late for some of them because they've already gone out of business. And I was just like, wow, I could, you know, with all of the years of experience that I've had in doing so many different businesses and having so many failures and successes, you know, you learn from that. And so I literally lay awake that night, and I thought, I need to do something to help people. I need to do something to help entrepreneurs, small businesses. That is the lifeblood of the country that we live in. I mean, that's what it's part of the American dream. People come over from other countries and they open businesses because you can't do that everywhere. And so, I know what it feels like to have a business that fails. And so I thought, I need to help people. And that's where this business came from. It came from me staying up in the middle of the night and just thinking, I got to help people because, you know, and so I literally, that was where the book came from. That's why I wrote the book.
Okay, so I heard you say, Josevie, that you've had a lot of businesses and you've had that worked and businesses failed. you enjoy the most?
Obviously, the businesses that work. But I'm going to tell you, I think being an entrepreneur, it just gets in your blood. And so I'm at the point now where I'm not afraid of failure. Because I know, because I failed before and I was able to get back up, brush myself off and try again, like Aaliyah song. Get yourself up and try again. So, I'm no longer afraid of failure because I know I'm still going to be okay. So for me, it doesn't matter at this point. No matter what I do, no matter what I try, I'm going to give it my all, give it my best and see what happens and make the plans for it. So I'm not really afraid of failure. You're going to fail at some point in some aspect, but you don't have to quit. And that's what the Small Business Survival Guide is all about. Stuff's going to happen. You're going to have challenges. Some you'll win and some you'll lose. You just got to enjoy what you're doing along the way.
Absolutely. And based on that, I have a book. Your book is below us on the camera. So if you want to get Josevie's book, you can grab the Small Business. We also have the Fearless Entrepreneur, and it's on sale for 99 cents.
99 cents.
It's normally $18. Normally $15. It's on sale for 99. So grab that deal. Also have a few that are at $0. They are actually completely free. So grab those deals. And we've got entrepreneurial books. We've got Pour Down on there for $0. So that's another really great one. So welcome. For those of you that are just joining us, scroll over, click the follow button, and yeah.
So that's a great thing that you got, because a lot of the time working with different entrepreneurs, it's like, well, right, my only obstacle is money. I've got the idea, I've got the skills and money. Here you've got two books, or at least one book that's $0, that you take action right now. And I'm sure Josevie in her book talks about, you got to take some action.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think the number one problem for small businesses right now?
I think mindset, a negative mindset. That is the number one obstacle for a small business owner. I actually wrote an entire chapter. Chapter 2 is about mindset. And so I actually, on pages 6 and 7 of my book, I talk about the steps that you need to take in order to overcome that negative mindset, because you can't sell if you're thinking negatively. And if you can't sell, then your business isn't making any money. And so I talk about that in this book, but I also talk about a mindset and how we can actually change our minds, change the way we think. Some of us have been programmed for years and years and years to think a certain way. I actually expound about that even more in my upcoming book, Thrive and Be Somebody, 11 Steps to Maneuver Life's Obstacles with Confidence. So that'll be coming out too, and hopefully it'll be on the carousel soon as it's out.
Awesome. So
awesome. We'll definitely put it on our carousel.
So you haven't here. You've got an upcoming book. And give us that title again so people can get excited.
It's called Thrive and Be Somebody, 11 Steps to Maneuver Life's Obstacles with Confidence.
Oh,
I love it. I love it. You know what's interesting business-wise? Okay, I was having this, and this fascinating, and I eat at fast food restaurants. I did not know that this was on, and I don't think he's heard this either, but I was having a conversation with my daughter this morning, and she was telling me how she's seeing on Reddit all of these people, like entire that Wendy's chain, they're just literally just putting a sign on the door and leaving. Like the entire group of people are just walking out. They're tired of being crap. And the other thing, when you fast food companies, a lot of times you only get your schedule week. So she was explaining to me that you get so if somebody's like, hey, do Friday? She's like, I haven't got my schedule yet. Changes every week, and also keep you under a minimum of 40 hours a week, so they don't have to pay the benefits and stuff. So they give you medical or anything. So you're getting this wage, you're getting horribly by a manager that doesn't manage, and you're getting really low income. That she went to this
potentially this is happening to you.
Yeah, right.
One good manager out there who loves the people and does.
I'm sure there is, but she went to a fast food restaurant about a month ago, here in Las Vegas. I won't name what it was, but he got there. Lady at the counter, she was like, she was exhausted. She just wanted a hamburger. And so she said to the lady was, sorry it's taking so long. And my daughter was like, hey, it's fine. I'm just listening to a podcast. And the lady found crying. And she goes, we only have two people. That know what they're doing here. The rest, they're all being trained. They're all brand new and no one knows what they're doing. We're behind. And then she's like, and she's just losing it. And so my daughter's like, console this poor lady, because my daughter felt horrible for she's worked in fast. She knew what that was like, and she just tried to. And the lady's like, "Can I give you a shake?" She was like, "I'm not gonna say the name of it because it will tell you the company." And she's like, "I just give you a shake." She goes, "But we only have vanilla because we're out of it." So I mean, this is going on in nations, and the thing is like. People have made these millionaires for these people and even give them some benefits. Like, oh my, it's just like, it's unbelievable.
I had fast food benefits from university.
Well, tell me about
benefit was, and I'm going to name because it was delicious.
To the Meat Lovers Pizza.
Actually, had Domino's Pizza, I think in 96 or something. I was the meat eater. Domino's meat eater. And I actually, for that one month.
That, Jamie?
Oh, yeah, I eat anything, let's be honest. But my fast food benefit was my flatmate worked for KFC. So when he did a night shift, he brought home all the chicken and stuff. And we're like, good on you, Nathan.
You know, guys, it's interesting that you talked about what some of these bigger companies are doing to their employees. It is the opposite. It will end up having the opposite effect on their business. I mean, imagine you've got customers coming in and employees are crying. You know, that's part of the reason why Delta Airlines, and I didn't write about this in the book, but I do know this.
I
know, I didn't put this example, but I did put so chapter 3 is focus on your customers. Your number one customer has to be your employee, because if your employees are happy, then they're going to make your customers happy because they're happy. And people aren't stupid today. You can look at somebody and you can tell if they're happy, if they love what they're doing. I mean, how many times have you walked into a business and you see employees smiling, maybe even whistling or singing a song? People, you know, that has an effect on the customer. So, you know, yeah, especially for small businesses, you have to put the employees first.
Yeah.
So when you walk into a store, people start whistling. Have I heard? That doesn't. I've seen it happen when I walked in the store. But when I walk into a store, I don't get any. There's no one whistling.
So real quick, JC Mom of 3 has just.
Hey, JC Mom of 3.
JC Mom of 3, we're going to add you to the prize draw to win Josevie Jackson's book, The Small Business Survival Guide. Woo! Awesome. And Sandra said. Yes, being an entrepreneur is exciting, but I definitely agree with the mindset approach, especially with so many things you need to learn. It can be overwhelming when you're your own CEO, financial officer, tax accountant, social media coordinator, supply chain officer. Yeah. Exactly. We're trying to wear all these hats. And
that's CEO stands for Chief Everything Officer, right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Rosemary Millwood joined us. She said good night. Where are you at, Rosemary? Are you out of
Caribbean?
Okay.
I think
It's late. I'm jealous. They're in the Caribbean. But definitely sleep well. And JC Mama 3 says, hello, Josevie. Josevie has shopped alongside of JC Mama 3. So
I have.
Nice to put a face to the name, right?
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Josevie Jackson herself, the author of The Small Business Survival Guide, which you can get from the carousel down below. And we're getting some inside information from the lovely lady who's a font of information, a world-class speaker, entrepreneur, business owner, and many hats that she can wear, and not change the hat, but create an outstanding result for whatever personality under that hat, for what that hat stands for at that point in time. So we're so excited to hear and be able to delve into her mind. Have a question for her, like, what do you have for breakfast? That's kind of a question. Go hard, go deep with her right now. So what did you have for breakfast?
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you like.
I had French toast and coffee.
Oh.
21-day reset. We cannot.
I feel
Wait a
like-
minute. I was wondering if I should say that because I was supposed to be doing the 21-day reset with you guys.
I know. Hey.
A second. That was the question. You got caught out.
Yeah.
That's it. 20 burpees now.
I'm
We'll wait.
fired.
Oh my God. I'm so excited though. I'm eating way more than I've ever eaten. I already dropped 5 pounds, Josevie.
Oh,
Jamaica.
man.
Rosemary, what is Jamaica?
Oh, Jamaica. I'm just wishing everyone good night. I'm not going. I'm watching. Oh, okay.
Good night.
Good. Rosemary, we're going to the prize draw of Josevie's book. Yeah, I'm down 5 pounds. Jamie's down 5 pounds. Jenny's down a lot. I'm not going to say her weight, but it's really
More.
good. It's more. The whole group of us.
We're trying to catch her.
Yeah,
It's not a competition. Get her.
Are you guys exercising on this diet?
Everybody. What's that?
Are you
I
also
think
exercising
anything.
on this diet or just changing
No.
your eating habits?
Eating.
It's eating based on the nutritional your body work in regards to like the latest bits because it's always we just now discovered this, which kind of counters this. We discovered this.
Yeah.
Kind of the latest. With
But it's simple. It's like
Yeah.
eating in 3, basically eating every 3 hours and eating the 3 things you need: protein and fat at every meal. Eating every 3 hours. So we're just like we have a
an alarm.
yeah. This,
And ironically, my told me to go eat is Kung Fu Panda larger than life. Larger than life.
bigger than the world.
Living out the
Hey.
dreams of every boy and every girl. You go, you know it, Josevie. Sing along
I
with me.
don't know that one.
Oh,
It's
I
great
bet
for
you
it's a
do.
for events. It's really good.
Yeah.
John joined us.
Devon.
Being entered to win Josevie's book, Bible guide, the small Bible guide. So very
So
cool.
I'm going to go. Before you wrote the book, there was a moment somewhere predated that you had an idea. I want to write a book. What was the catalyst, the moment, if you could think back? What did you say, hey, you're phenomenal, things you really need to write a book? Or did you stub your toe and go, oh, I should write a book? I mean,
Okay,
what
so
was-
Jamie, I'm going to show you something. I wasn't planning on doing this. These are my books. And if you notice this book right here, this is actually my very first book. I wrote this book when I was 8 years old.
No
and it was-
way.
And it was published by the state of Illinois. So that is, yes, that
Put
is
you on a
was
journey,
the
Jen.
catalyst for me thinking one day I was going to grow up and be an author.
I love it.
It was that
Oh
Nice.
my
moment.
gosh, I love
There's an 8-year-old mindset, folks. At 8, as
At
a
8.
probably not. And not only is she an author, but a speaker, an entrepreneur, a world-class shopper.
So Josevie, yeah, world class. Like Jamie are shopping together.
Game, I'm gonna win.
I want
What
to shop.
steps-
Like, I'm trying to figure out, guys, how I can get some of the free books while I'm doing this. So if anybody's out there and they're not downloading the free books, guys, take advantage of it because every time they're giving away stuff, I'm always one of the first ones to get it.
Yeah, and if you are on one of the other forms, you got to go to live the free book. So you just happyhoneys.com, click live, and you can find us there.
Good point.
Yeah.
Happy HAPPY HONEYS Happy Honeys. Go there, click live.
Did he just
and
say
you can-
hate?
He said,
Hate.
"Hey, yes,
Because that's what it hate.
we have some great books, but not only that, we've got a couple free ones. We've got the Fearless Entrepreneur for 99 cents, normally 15 bucks.
Ooh.
We have we also have Poor Dad for free, completely for free.
Oh, wow.
Also
That's
have-
a great book. That's
Rich
a great book.
Yeah.
We have 3 feet from gold for 3 feet from gold. This is
3 Gold, which is one of the chapters in that Rich Dad. No, not Rich Dad.
Jason 3 said, I can barely figure me out at 42 years old. So, Josevie, what steps do you offer in the book to help small businesses?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I offer 10 steps. And before I offer those steps, I actually talk about the importance of taking action. But all the steps are really the table of contents. I talk about managing your mindset, focusing on customers, conducting a SWOT analysis. If you don't know what SWOT is, it's focusing on your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities. Uh-oh, and now I forgot my own.
You forgot the T.
Threats.
Threats.
That's a sign I'm getting old. Threats. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I didn't make that up. And then I talk about creating objectives and making a plan. It's, believe it or not, Amy, some people go into business and, years ago, no one would dare go into business without a business plan, right? But people nowadays, they go start a business. They don't even think about a business plan. And if you're already in business, it's not too late. Start planning what you're going to do. If this threat comes up, be prepared in advance. If you have a month that's a low month and, you're barely making the money, come up with something else. And then I also talk about reducing costs, managing your cash flow, using low-cost marketing, being persistent, being creative, pivoting. This last year, 2020, businesses, because of COVID, were practically shut down, and a lot of them had to pivot. And so I put some examples in the book of businesses like, I don't know, let's see. I put some examples like ExxonMobil. They started producing hand sanitizer. Or Brook Brothers, it's a clothing store, and they started making surgical gowns and masks. T3 Expo, nobody was doing exhibitions or conventions. Exactly. So they took their trade show space and converted it into hospital space. So see, a business can be creative and can pivot. Like, just because you're accustomed to doing things one way doesn't mean that you have to always do them that same way. It's those businesses who have the creativity and the gumption to be able to take action and put their creative ideas into action. Those are the ones who succeed. If you can pivot, you can weather any storm.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that's just exactly it. Businesses that are able to pivot, they're able to innovate. That's the innovators. That's where new ideas come out. That's how we create new products or things. That was one of the things that Apple did that I thought was so well done, was they didn't ask, they asked what business are you in, but then the next question they have to ask is what business are you really in?
Yeah.
So for instance, he said originally, and Steve Jobs did a whole entire day with his team where he did this. After he came back, he'd gone and he came back. He did this entire day with his team where he said, okay, what business are we really in? And they said, well, we're in computers. And it said, nope, that's not the business we're in. And what they finally came up with at the end of the day was they came up with they're in the business of connecting people with their passions.
Ooh.
And then they get the iPod. And that's what they do. They connect people with the music. They connect people with the friends, with the iPhone. They connect people with movies, entertainment. They connect people with their passions. That's their whole core of the underlying of what they do with their business.
I love that.
So we got a couple new people. We've got Kira in here. Kira, long time no see. We were doing a lot of Facebook Lives. We haven't done them for a while because we're on Amazon. We're on Amazon.
That's right. We're over here on Amazon.
So come on, if you want to join us over there and enter to win, just go to happydays.com, click on live shopping, and then we've got a whole carousel of amazing books. Some of them for free. Freebies, come get the discounts. Come on over.
And I hope you're having fun down there in Australia.
Yes, and then Donna said, yes, business plan is so necessary. I think of it as a reality check. What is it going to take to sustain your why? Yeah, what is it going to take to sustain your why? And getting connected with that. that is super important too, because if we're not connected with that, we're not going to hold on to the things that we need to hold on to.
Well,
No.
passion is a stronger energy. Your why is connected to a passion, something that you feel, you're drawn. And we always say, like, the heart, the soul is here. Well, the heart is here. Last time I checked, yep, still there. Smaller than what it was, but I'm still there. That's important. But you're pulled towards stuff, you know, and that is energy. It's a higher frequency energy. It's more of a drive. So if you're uninterested in what you're doing, your energy is low, and there's a higher degree of heart attacks on a Monday morning for people that have a 9-to-5 job, because they're dreading that going to work. So when you're an entrepreneur, you may work 80 hours a week, so you don't have to work a 40-hour week, but those 80 hours a week are something that you care about, you're interested in, you're passionate about. And there's the concept of freedom. I was asked the other day, well, what's your hourly wage? I'm like, I wouldn't even know what an hourly wage is anymore. Thing like that. So,
and it was super funny because he was asking me, I go, what? He's like, what's my hourly wage? I go, $1,000 an hour. And he's like, yeah, but like, and he's like, well, what is it even anymore? And I go, well, to give you an idea, they're fighting right now to get people $15 an hour minimum, you know, but I can't imagine living like that, you know? So Josevie, thank you so much for joining us. How do people reach you if they have any questions?
oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. So I'm not sure if this is appropriate, but I'm willing to give away free copies of my upcoming book on my website. Yep. So you can reach out to me if you have questions. You can find me on my website at www.thriveandbe.com. So if you sign up there, yep, thriveandbe.com, you'll get a free copy of my upcoming book. I hope you all enjoy this book. If you're in business and you have even ever had a negative thought about or a concern about whether or not you are going to succeed in business, get rid of those thoughts, get the book, and put a plan into action, because you definitely can succeed. It's the businesses who keep going. Those are the ones who stay in business.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josevie. You're awesome. We're going to have you again when your next book, Thrive and Be Somebody, comes out.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
And I'll see you guys while I'm shopping on your other site. Actually, I'm going to go right now and buy some of these books that you're already offering. So
yeah, we've actually even got the high performance planner on there for 36% off.
Wow, that's a good price.
Yeah.
They're all good prices. You
just,
get have great
yeah, so just go to happyhoneys.com, click live shopping.
I'm already there. I'm just waiting.
Oh. All right, I'll remove you. We'll see you soon.
Wait, don't tell Ben, because he thinks I'm crazy buying all these books.
We won't tell him. Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you soon. So you guys, we have George Chanos coming on next. And he's going to be joining us very, very soon. Oh, yes. Thank you, Josevie. Can you put that website in the chat? We can't. Dana just joined us. Mew, Cosmic Kaya. Welcome, Dana. Welcome. We're going to add you to the prize wheel to win Josevie Jackson's Thrive and Be Somebody. We're going to spin that wheel when we're done chatting with George Chanos. So I'm so excited to talk to George. He is an incredible guy. He's a thought leader. He was the former, I'm not good with politics, so I'm hoping I'm getting this correct, but he was the former Attorney General of Nevada. He's an incredible guy. He's intelligent. He has written the book, The Millennial Samurai, and I love some of the advice that he gives in there. I totally agree with it. So let's get him on here. Let's chat with him and find out more. Hi, George. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you. So did I get that right? You were the former Attorney General of Nevada?
Yes, that's correct.
What years?
I was
the important ones.
I'm sorry?
The important years.
Yeah. 2005, 2006, I was appointed by Governor Gwynn to fill a vacancy of the then Attorney General who became a federal judge, and served those 2 years and decided that politics was way too dysfunctional and toxic to stay in.
Absolutely.
And went on to have a wonderful life.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. Good to hear. Because you're a blast. We've met you several times at our good friend Bajal's house. I think have you done improv with us?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Oh my gosh.
Not yet.
Not yet. You haven't. He's like, oh God. I talked to a lady yesterday and she said, I suffered through improv. That's what she said.
That's how you just go suffering through it.
Are you getting all these names on the
I am. I'm getting everyone's names on the prize wheel that's
we've
here.
got G.I. Joe 07, Jovan, JC Mama 3, Rosemary. They're all saying hello to you. So we have right now we're on a platform that shoots us out to a bunch of platforms, but the main platform we are on is actually Amazon Live. So we've got a bunch of viewers over there and they're all chatting and we're seeing it in a different place. So when I'm looking down and we've got a carousel, I'm going to pull up your book for the carousel. You guys, you can purchase his book right now. I believe he's shipping me a couple copies to give away for free, but I don't have them now. So we'll give them at a future live and promote him again.
Absolutely. And I love the way how this book has got short little moments for you to be able to grab and read, which, and ironically, I open it up at the one that's love.
And I love it too, because one of the things that I was reading this morning, you recommend learning languages, and we are all learning a language right now. We're learning Spanish. Our whole household is learning Spanish because I have my 8-year-old grandson living here, and we want him to start learning more languages. So
that's fantastic. One of the best things that you can do to exercise your brain and increase the plasticity of your brain.
So do you speak several languages?
No, I wish I did. I've been doing a lot of reading and studying my whole life to exercise my brain. But languages, two things that I regret that I never did was never learned a second language and or a musical instrument. Two things that I highly recommend people do.
So awesome! I actually did piano when I was younger. So I'll send you a link to this an app after we're done. It's awesome. It's free. A bunch of us are on it. It's fun. It's like 5 minutes a day. Like 5 minutes a day, and it's super fun. Like it feels like you're playing a game. You can learn any language you want.
That's great. And I will send you the books. Just send me an address, and I'll send you some books to give away. And then the other thing that your listeners should know is that they can download a free copy of my book, the entire book, at millennialsamurai.com.
Okay.
And over 13,000 people have downloaded it so far. So I'm trying to give away 1 million copies.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
That's beautiful. And it's so what was the catalyst for you before you engaged in this project? Because it's a beautiful big book. There's a lot of fantastic information in it, some wonderful tidbits. So what was the catalyst for you to go, I'm going to throw this all together for people to benefit?
Yeah, so in 2012, I had a heart attack, and my daughter at the time was 15 years old, and after the heart attack, I was concerned that I might not be here for her. So I sat down, I put my affairs in order through my estate planning, and then I sat down and I began to write a letter to my daughter. And in that letter, I was trying to download what I had learned throughout my life and to anticipate questions that she might have that she would have wanted to ask her father if he had been alive. And so as I was writing the letter, and because I like to write, within a month or two, I had over 100 pages in this letter. And then I thought, you know what? This is not a letter. This is a book. This ought to be a book. And why don't I just make it into a book and then leave her a book? So that was my first book. That was a book called Seize Your Destiny, A Roadmap to Success. And that essentially was me downloading what I had learned in my 30 years of life on the planet and what I thought she needed to know. And then I realized that the 30-year lifespan that I had was very different than the 30 years in the future that she was going to live through, or her life. So I wanted to know what was going to happen over the next 30 years so that I could advise her about that. So I started researching the future. I started researching what was going to happen over the next 30 years. And that became Millennial Samurai, a mindset for the 21st century. And what you'll find in there is absolutely extraordinary. I just gave a speech today to a group of about 110 people at a luncheon here in Las Vegas. And I was talking all about the future and what's going to happen. And if you haven't looked at something, then you really don't have any idea of what it's all about. But when you start digging into what's going to happen over the next 10, 15, 20, and 30 years, it is absolutely mind-blowing. It surprised the hell out of me. And I thought, I was a pretty well-read guy, and I didn't know any of this stuff. And so I thought I needed to share that with everyone and make people more prepared for the future, because we are living in the most extraordinary period in human history, and there's a technological tsunami on the horizon, and it is going to change life as we know it over the next 10, 20, 30 years in ways that none of us can even comprehend. And I talk about it in the book. And the book is broken down into 182 chapters that are only 1 to 3 pages each. And it covers everything that I think you need to know about life in the next 30 years. And it prepares you for that life, how to survive and thrive in a technological tsunami. And that's why I'm giving it away for free online, because I want everyone to know about what's going to happen, and I want them to be prepared, and I want to try to empower other people. And if you don't like reading off of your computer on a digital copy, then you'll have to go to Amazon and order the book, and you'll get a physical copy.
I love it, George. I love your passion about this, because the very first time I met you, like, you didn't know me at all. And you were like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Here's my book." And you literally gave me your book. And it is really good, you guys. This book is awesome. It is phenomenal. Your mindset is exactly in alignment with what my husband and I believe, as far as what we kind of preach as well. And so I was just super impressed. And it's a lot of it's common sense stuff, but we don't think about it. Like, we just don't think about it.
It's positive sense. Sometimes we don't see it too commonly, and that's why it's great to grab George's book and have a read. You're kind of like Nostradamus, telling us go into the future and come back to tell us what's going to help us by flipping through this book. And that's a great offer that you got there for people to just get access to this fantastic knowledge. And what I like to do is like flip and go, okay, what should I think about today? Focus on. Oh, genomics. The future is beyond our ability to comprehend. Okay, well, I'm going to get these quick read with these nuggets of information for me to now understand what that is. Now, what else do I need? It's like, prioritize.
And it makes it super easy to read, because you can literally just pick up and read a chapter at a time.
A moment here, a moment there.
Yeah, I love how you put this book together. I absolutely love it.
And I love all the powerful little quotes with each chapter.
And my favorite is action, because I'm all about taking action. That's my favorite.
Page 90, I believe.
My favorite chapter.
80 is networking, which I love, because it works.
Awesome.
Action. There we go.
So I love your mission, that it sounds like you really want to help people to understand what's coming. Seriously, we are in such a different time. Like, I could never have imagined I would have been locked down for 2 years in a pandemic. I just, that thought never crossed my mind. I had more stupid fears, like spiders.
Especially around Halloween. There's one.
So
there are some modern day Nostradamuses out there. Ray Kurzweil, who's the head of artificial intelligence for Google, has been called a Nostradamus of sorts. And Kurzweil tells us that the singularity, the moment in time when machine intelligence will eclipse human intelligence, is coming by 2029. That's 8 years away. Theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking, before he passed away in 2014, said that that moment in time, that singularity that Kurzweil is talking about, will be the greatest event in human history, greater than fire, greater than the wheel, greater than anything man or woman has ever conceived of. And to have that, beyond the immediate horizon and the potential for that happening in less than 8 years is pretty remarkable. But then Kurzweil goes on beyond that, and he says, once we hit the singularity, there will be exponential learning growth of artificial intelligence. And within another 10 to 20 years, artificial intelligence will not be our equal. It will be a billion times more capable than human intelligence. And the human mind doesn't even have the capacity to comprehend what that means. And so change is coming, folks, and it's coming like a freight train. And it's going to change the world that we live in. It's going to create, it has the potential to create a second enlightenment and unprecedented abundance. And it has the potential to create dystopia and an end of life as we know it. So it's really all a matter of how we handle this technology. It's like putting a child in a race car, and how is he going to perform? So that's sort of but the difference is that in this case the child built the race car. So hopefully he will know how to drive it as well,
and not be petulant.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Now, there's like over 180 different chapters in it. Is there a couple that are your favorite that you're like, oh, if you're gonna just read 3, you got to get these ones in there?
Yeah. So I've also created. So I've taken the 182. And I've narrowed that down to 100 that I call the essentials. And I've created these worksheets that people can work with their children that are 1 page each. So they're all of the topics that you can talk to your kids about, and they're 1 page each. And that's called the essentials. But if I had to narrow it down to 3 or 4, I would say the ancient core values of character, courage, commitment, and compassion.
Nice.
Compassion. I've been missing that.
Yeah.
Right here.
The lack of compassion I've been seeing in the world in the last few years, I'm floored. Like, I'm just floored. Like, people are, and you see it more. I mean, I saw it years ago because I was on the internet back when there were bulletin board systems, and nobody even knew what the internet was. I had this friends of mine that worked in the government, and they were like, "Hey, get this! You got to get a computer. We can build you one because the thing is coming. It's called the internet. It's going to be amazing." The amount of trolls we had back then is fairly high, but the trolls and what's happening now is insane. Like, my daughter's dealing with it. I don't know if you're familiar with the platform Twitch, but today Twitch, a bunch of the streamers on there, they're all a lot of them are gamers, but there's a ton of different genres on there. They all did a blackout on Twitch Day and didn't to stream. They're getting these hate bots that are happening, where a hate bot comes into your channel and it starts spewing all this hate, and you end up having to shut your down. And when you have a stream going and you have to shut your stream down, there's a lot of setup involved. And so you can't just jump back on. It doesn't work like that, right? And so there's streams, and so the streamers are wanting Twitch to do something more about it, because what's happening, like, they'll use a specific name or like a certain thing in the name. And so my daughter recognizes it, and she'll get somebody else that will message her and say, "Hey, that's a hate bot. You need to block that right away." So she's like, "Well, if I can see clearly, they should have some technology to be able to do that." So that's happening on now today.
Yeah, I think that the platforms need to accept more responsibility for controlling that type of activity. There's some, when you read the book, you're going to learn a lot of the things that you need to know about these types of issues. One of the things that you need to know is that your brain is simultaneously your greatest asset and your greatest vulnerability, your greatest weakness. Our brains receive 11 million bits of information per second, and that's been happening our whole lives. And yet we can only consciously process 15 to 50 bits of information per second. So the vast majority of information that enters our minds outside of our conscious awareness. We're not even aware of it, but it's there. It's coming in every second of the day. and it's influencing the way we think and the way we make decisions. And so there's immense vulnerability in the human brain. And when you have bots that, you know, whether they're hate bots or mischief bots or, you know, foreign government bots or whatever they are, the ability to potentially influence people is enormous, and it creates a very significant liability. So people don't really kind of understand this, but this little phone here has 100,000 times the computing power that NASA had in 1969. This is technology, right?
Wow.
Twitter is technology. TikTok is technology. And what you're experiencing with these devices, with these technologies, is essentially the water on the floor of a pending tsunami. So you've got a massive amount, a technological tsunami that's on the horizon, and you're just getting a taste of it. Right now, what you're describing is a little taste of the technology and the disruption that's on its way. And unless you're aware, you know, Sheryl Sandberg, the COO of Facebook, the only female on their board of directors, former chief of staff of Larry Summers, the US Secretary of Treasury, Sandberg says, you cannot change that which you are unaware of. But once you are aware, you cannot help but change. So we need to increase awareness in this country and around the world. We need to increase awareness about what's going on. You can't be prepared for something that you're unaware of. So if people are oblivious to these issues, it can't work out well. So I really believe that we need to increase awareness. I believe more people need to be talking about these issues. More people need to be talking about social media more and its influence. Suicide rates among people, adolescent girls have tripled. And it's having a profound effect on society. So we need to pay attention to these things. On the one hand, this technology can create a second enlightenment. If used properly, this technology can educate the world. You know, we don't need 250,000 teachers teaching algebra. We could have one teacher who's a brilliant mathematician teaching everyone algebra over the internet or over Zoom. And, you know, why aren't we making these adjustments? Why aren't we having the greatest minds at Harvard and Stanford teaching all of us? Why are they only teaching a select few? You know, why aren't we broadcasting every one of their classes to the planet for free? Right?
Good point.
I mean, seriously.
You know, I hadn't even thought about that. But George, here's the thing. Like, okay, so I was a dance teacher when I was really young. I started teaching dance at age 13. At 16 years old, I was in a bit of an emotionally abusive environment, and I left home, and I had to quit dancing. So during the pandemic, I found this website, and I picked up dancing again. I'm doing ballet, I'm doing jazz, I'm doing hip hop, I'm doing everything. But what's so cool about it is I've got the technology. We have this big screen up here. So in front of you, right in front of me, here's my dance studio. So it's literally a screen projector. It's on a big screen. I feel like I'm in the class. And I'm taking classes from people that I would only have ever dreamed of being able to take a class from.
Exactly.
And I love it because, like, I can slow the teacher down. I can put her on a loop. I can watch her from the front to the back. I mean, like, I am learning dance in such a way that I never even thought possible or thought I could teach that way. It's the technology is incredible. So you're right. Why aren't we teaching our kids like that?
I mean, exactly. Why aren't the greatest scientists and the greatest mathematicians and the greatest philosophers, the greatest teachers, you know, why aren't these people teaching everyone? You know, why aren't we harnessing technology? Instead, we've got, you know, people, you know, doing tweaking and, you know, pranks and the Kardashians and, I mean, all the crap that we have on social media. Why aren't we harnessing this amazing force for change? I mean, we literally have the opportunity to create a second enlightenment. We have the ability, we have the technology, we have the people. It can absolutely be done today. There are so many things that we could do. You know, let
Like
me give you
what?
another example.
What can we do? What can we do? Like, what can we do?
Well, just, you know, create awareness about this opportunity. And the more people start realizing that there's an opportunity, you know, Milton Friedman was a Nobel Prize winning economist out of the University of Chicago. And he won his Nobel Prize for a simple observation, which is that people operate out of self-interest. People do what it is in their self-interest to do. Okay.
Absolutely.
So if we explain to people that it is in their self-interest to open their minds, that it is in their self-interest to collaborate with others, that opposing viewpoints are assets rather than liabilities that can inform us and enlighten us. If people understand that there's this technological tsunami on the horizon and that collaboration is essential, cooperation, collaboration, compassion, these are essential elements for our survival as a species. And if people begin to understand this, then Milton Friedman tells us once they understand it's in their self-interest, maybe they'll stop fighting and maybe they'll stop cooperating or start cooperating. So I think it goes back to awareness. And that's why I'm giving away the books online. And that's why I am speaking. And that's why I'm doing this interview today, is because I want to get the word out that change is coming. The answer is for us to collaborate. Together, we will survive and thrive and could have a glorious future for ourselves and our children and future generations. Or we can continue to fight. We can continue to not collaborate. We can continue to ignore the plight of our fellow man, and then we will end up in a very bad place. And so once everybody realizes that, then maybe they'll wake up and maybe they'll start taking action and maybe they'll start cooperating and collaborating. But that's really what we need, you know, and it's not just me saying this. I mean, look at nature, look at nature, look at colonies, look at colonies of bees, look at ant farms, look at schools of fish, look at flocks of sterling. They all collaborate. They work together. It's the path forward. It's the way that things work out the best. We are profoundly interdependent with one another. We need each other. You know, the fire ant can't swim. They drown in torrential rains. In order to avoid drowning, they lock their legs and self-assemble into floating rafts. Together, they survive. Alone, they would perish. Humans are no different. Together, working together, we survive and we thrive. Alone, arguing, not cooperating, not collaborating, not being compassionate to one another, not thinking I'm not my brother's keeper, that type of mentality is going to harm us all, including those who practice that type of mentality. So, you know, people need to understand that it is very much in their self-interest to help the other guy, to help their neighbor, and to work together.
That's absolutely true. Eventually, that I was, or right from The Nature of Science, I was talking about Charles Darwin and the theory of evolution and survival of the fittest. And survival of the fittest, Charles Darwin himself says, is true if these elements come into play, and there's other plays now, and it's collaboration is how nature lives more so. There are unique elements where it wins, but the group or the herd or the collection and even different interspecies are working together to get a positive outcome for all. So modern science or technology or has said, oh, I've got to be better than everyone, but actually while working together, the collaboration, businesses link and work together, that as people link and work together, huge changes can happen. I backpacked through Africa and they had a lot less, and yet I saw one things take place, and I saw so many more smiles and laughter by people going, oh, it doesn't matter whether we're different, doesn't matter if you have more money, this is what we're doing, you want to be a part of it. Yeah, sure, I want to be. How can I contribute? And about opposing teams and fighting, what Amy and I teach in a lot of our seminars is that concept of, okay, it doesn't matter what happened, we want to look at what was wrong. We want to look at how can, because when we said those millions of bits of information through the brain, if we're like, well, what went wrong? Oh, all that evidence from those million bits of information of what's wrong. Yet if we go, how this be better, then from those millions of information, we get this and this. We can saying, how can this be better? I agree with what happened. Now, how can it be better? How can we be better? How can we be supportive? How can we create this fire ants or happy humans technological tsunami?
Yeah. You know, Darwin said it's not the strongest or the most intelligent that survive. It's those most capable of adaptation. Number one. Number two, any CEO at any major company today will tell you that teams beat individuals every time. Put together a good team, and that team will beat an individual every time. But there's even more simple kind of proof, right? Look at the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? So how many contestants did they have on? In all of their shows, you could choose you had 3 lifelines. One was to take a 50-50 split of the answers, and you would increase your odds by 50%. The other one was you could call an expert, and you would increase your odds by 66% on average over all of the shows. But the third one was you could ask the audience. And if you asked the audience was right more than 90% of the time. So there's a great book called The Wisdom of Crowds. And basically it proves that crowds come up with the best answers, not individuals. You know, if you had a NASA scientist, you put a bunch of beans in a jar and you ask the NASA scientist, how many beans are in the jar? Or you asked Albert Einstein how many beans are in the jar. They'd come up with a pretty good guess. But if you took 1,000 people normal people, you took 1,000 normal people and you asked them how many beans are in the jar, the average of those people's guesses would be the winner. It would beat out the Einstein or the NASA scientist. That's what the wisdom of crowds tells us. So the power of us working collaboratively is undeniable. It's documented time and time again through major studies and through, tremendous volume of experience over time. We are profoundly interdependent as human beings. We need each other. We are at our best when we work together in teams. In his book, Sapiens, Yuval Noah Harari talks about this and says that this ability of humans to collaborate at a large scale is what allowed them to move to the top of the food chain. It's what allowed us to be the supreme beings on this planet, is our ability to collaborate with one another, our ability to think ahead and plan. These are the 2 strengths that humans have over all other animals. All animals collaborate, but human beings were able to develop these social fictions that allowed them to collaborate in larger groups. So in the beginning, as cavemen, we could collaborate to about 100 or 150 people in a tribe, and that was pretty much the max. Then we started developing these social fictions like religions, churches, towns, villages, city-states, nation-states, and those social fictions caused us to be able to trust one another and to understand, oh, you're an American, I'm an American. Oh, you're from Chicago, I'm from Chicago. That type of social arrangement allowed humans to collaborate in the millions. Animals don't collaborate in the millions, but humans do. And they do when they're tied together by a social fiction. So when we all say, we're all Americans, we're in this together, we rise to the occasion like we did in World War II.
Or 9/11.
Yeah, or 9/11. Or
together in that situation.
Right? And that's another interesting thing. is that it's in our nature. It's in our nature. You have a natural disaster like 9/11, or you have a natural disaster like Katrina, and people come together. They don't ask if the guy that they're pulling out of the lake is black or white or Christian or Jewish or, whatever he is. They just help him pull him out of the lake, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So because that's our inherent nature, right? So in crisis, this shows itself, right? But when we're not in crisis, then somehow we lose sight of this and we start to worry about ourselves. And what people really need to understand is it's not about you. It's not about your guns. It's not about your feelings on race. It's not about your feelings on abortion. It's about us. It's about all of us, right? So take your feelings and put them on the back burner and start thinking about humanity. Start thinking about all of us. Start thinking about all 335 million Americans. Start thinking about all 7.5 billion people on the planet. That's the mindset that we need to cultivate. And the way we cultivate that is we create awareness that this tsunami is coming, right? If you think it's bad now, wait until automation eliminates 50% of the jobs, right? Then you're going to have a situation, right? So get out ahead of it. Get out ahead of it and start working with each other. Start talking about the issues. Start thinking about how we can harness technology to move the entire planet forward, to move the entire country forward, to lift all boats. Start thinking in those terms. Start thinking about your place in society, and how you can be a contributing part of a bigger and better future.
I love that so much, George, and I could talk to you forever. So we would love to have you back again at some point, if that would be possible. I think this is a brilliant conversation, and I absolutely love where you're taking this and how you're thinking about it. I do think that it's very important. Oh, the sound cut out? Our sound cut out. I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. Sorry also about the lighting. At 5 o'clock, the sun comes through my window. And
it's just making you look hot.
Okay.
But we are going to spin this wheel for Josevie Jackson's book. We're going to keep pushing your book, George. Thank you so much. Is there a way that they can contact you if they have any questions?
Yeah, you can reach me at GJ Chanos. G as in George, J as in James, Chanos. You have my email, gjchanos.com. Feel free to put it up and let people know they can reach out to me. They can also find me on social media under George J. Chanos. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. So they can connect with me there. And I am constantly putting out information in an attempt to try to empower people.
Beautiful.
Well, you're a source of some wonderful and well thought out information, eloquently and clearly presented in such a way a novice can also be made aware of information that probably weren't aware of before. So that's very good.
AC Mom of 3 said, thank you so much for sharing tonight. We've got a bunch of other comments that I kind of missed because I was just so involved in the conversation. But no questions, so that's okay. If there was a question, I would have popped it out. But thank you so much, George. And I'll reach out to you. I'm going to send you that link to that app because I'd love to have you learn some languages with me.
Absolutely. I'd love it. Thank you.
All right, cool. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome, you guys. We are going to do a prize wheel spin. So this is your last chance. Joe said, yes, I enjoy it. Are we able to get that on the screen by chance?
I'm going to see.
Hi, this is a new technology, you guys. We're using StreamYard is what we're using. Oh, Evans family, hello, have posted just in the Hey. So Evans family, add Evans family as well.
Evans family is in there.
You guys, we've got some great books. We've got some for free down there. Go grab those for free. We've got, we have got the first two in the front are the authors that we had on today, but we also have a free book of, we've got a 99 cents for the Fearless Entrepreneur. I'm going to just go over some of these while Jamie's getting these into the, getting your names into the prize wheel. We also have the one thing. Oh my gosh, I love this. It's down to $16. Oh, I recognize that music.
There's a little teaser.
There's a little teaser. It's coming. Okay, we've got Rich Dad $0. It costs $0 for you. Grab that right now. Rich Dad Poor Dad, that. We have 3 Feet of Gold, $0. It costs nothing. Grab that right now. G.I. Joe says, good luck, everyone. Let's see. We've got some good. Oh, Be Obsessed or Be Average. This is one of my favorite books, you guys. I have it on Audible. I absolutely love it. It's $0. It costs $0. So grab those books, guys. They're free. Just get them. You know, just grab them. Grab your free prizes. We've got The Grain Brain. We've got Women for God. I love that one. We've got the emotion code is 7% off. Something that Jamie's certified in, actually. He uses
it's a great book.
Uses the emotion code for both of us quite often, and we absolutely love it.
A quick little, the book goes into a lot more detail. It's a wonderful course, self-awareness. So when we have an emotion is an intense amount of energy. And if we're in a situation we feel we can't express that emotion, some of that energy get locked into the body. So the body, as we know, is energy. Everything's energy. You have energy meridians, circuits running through. You got your main governing meridian running down the spine. There's times where that energy, when it's in your body, doesn't release. And so going through the emotion code book, you can learn a way in which you can release those little energetic moments.
I just realized we should just text Dr. Bradley Nelson if he wants to come and interview.
Oh, yeah, let's get Dr. Bradley Nelson here with us.
He's a great guy. Yeah, I'll text
awesome.
him tomorrow. Awesome. Okay, can we get, or what? How are you going to do this? Are we going to do it old school?
I'm going to do it super old school. Hey, everybody, here's a wheel of names.
Oh.
And it's moving. It wants to do it. Let's see.
Let's go. And it is Jovan Williams.
Jovan Williams. Congratulations,
Josevie Jackson's book. Jovan, are you here? Are you still here?
Survival Guide.
Are you still here? Are you still here, Jovan? Are you here? Are you here?
Yeah, check the chat here.
Yeah. Nope. But she has to be on this chat. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's where her name came from. So.
Okay. She was actually on here.
Oh,
Jovan was in here. Okay, I think we need to stay. I don't think Jovan is here.
All right,
we're spinning again, guys.
Oops.
The spin.
Who wants to win, Josevie? Book! Oh, hang on. Sitting in the library, Amy.
Too bad. And
G.I. Joe 7!
G.I. Joe 7, and he just said congrats. So he's really here. G.I. Joe 7, you just won the Small Business Survival Guide by Josevie Jackson. Small Business Survival Guide by Josevie Jackson. You know where to go. Go to happyhunties.com and click on the messaging to message me and send me your address so I can ship you this lovely book. Awesome. Congratulations. Woo! Good job.
Thank you for sharing time with us, folks. I hope you got a lot of information, knowledge, awareness, ideas, and of course, free books. You got to grab them.
Absolutely. Grab those. Again, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week. I think we have Angel Tookie. She's going to teach us how to get discovered. And we also have a Louise, and she's an amazing lady. And Dana says, love free books. Thank you, Dana, for joining us. Make sure you scroll over at the top and follow us. If you're not following us, that way you will get notified when we go live.
Dana, the Cosmic Kia.
Dana, Cosmic Kia.
When I saw that, I thought Cosmic Kit Kat.
Exactly. So
because I wasn't very well with my phones or eyeglasses. That's good. So yeah, glad you're here. Come over, follow us. This will be happening every Wednesday at
4:30
4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We also have the Unboxing the Unknown live always at 11 a.m.
on Wednesday,
and
Fridays.
Friday Pacific Standard Time. And we're starting next week from Inner World.
From Middle World Herbs.
Middle. See, it's so new. Middle World Herbs. There's a H in it.
Yeah.
Herbs.
Middle World Herbs. That's going to be on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Thursdays at 11 a.m. See you on her channel. But live 5 times if you want us. So again, and remember, is knowledge, not power.
That's right. So remember, when you read a book, you're holding hands and sharing the mind of an author who has something valuable to share.
Tag along with Amy and Jamie while we meet the authors. Right here on Amazon Live. Ask questions to win a prize from your favorite author's life. So come on, just tag along with Amy and Jamie while we meet the authors. Right here on Amazon Live. Ask questions to win a prize from your favorite author's life.
Woo! See you guys next time.